Welcome back to another episode of Time Travel. This is Scott Barnes TV, and I'm Scott Barnes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. So come with me down the rabbit hole to the Roaring 20s, where the flapper was born, there were new dance moves, jazz was hot, and talkies began. Come with me, you're not going to want to miss this. These speakeasies in the 20s.
It's jazz club, come on.
Well, we finally made it to the 20s. How you feeling, Lady Lakin?
Feeling good.
A lot of stuff going on here in the 20s.
A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of things happening
Very
in the 20s.
Very transformative time.
Yeah, Miss Lady Lakin here
Yeah.
did our 1900s piece. We're gonna do a whole series of time travel with Miss Lakin here. So,
very excited. Can't
Yeah.
wait to travel back through time, learn more history about beauty, makeup, the way it's shaped where we are today.
one of the things that people don't realize is eyebrows were such a big part of makeup.
Huge.
Because it really defined what era you were in based on the eyebrow. So I removed yours.
If you can't tell.
We're eyebrow free at the moment.
Yes.
It was a thin and elongated brow. The reason why is because the silent film stars used to shave their eyebrows. And they would draw in the expression because they couldn't use their vocal cords. It became a trend. So just like all things in Hollywood, people would then mimic what the celebrities did. I just thought it was a style where they were like, okay, let's just draw on an eyebrow. They loved a thick, gaudy eyeshadow. The darker, the more garish, the better.
I didn't know that.
Purple, green, blue, gold, colors like that, which we have. And then mascara, again, became very popular in the 20s.
Still Vaseline?
No,
They moved on?
we got the cake mascara that you would get wet.
Oh, I love this tin.
Yeah, it's a cute little tin. It's Besame. You just wet it. Maybelline was one of the first mascara companies to come out with a cake mascara. A lipstick was new, you know, just for the mascara. How do you think you get that started?
Maybe a brush?
Spit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just little spit goes a long way.
Spit shine?
Little spit shine. All right, so let's get started. We put your foundation on already, and then eyebrow removal. I just muted it out with Elmer's glue and foundation so that we had a clean slate to work with. I need to start with a little bit of contouring. I'm gonna use diced on you. I'm gonna go right underneath your jawline. What was great about the bob haircut is it went from all that Victorian hair to the bob. Now, why did it go to the bob? It was actually taken from a boy's haircut, and with that boy's haircut, it was the shorter the better.
Okay.
So the more cropped the bob was, the better.
You're right, to contrast with like the early 1900s, there was so much, you had to do so much with it, and this was just really short, really sleek.
It was a paring down, and it was a liberation. Women were starting to become more liberated. Just putting in a little contour,
Oh, nice.
just to bring in those bones. So what we're gonna do is throw some blush on with this. Now, we would go in the front because it was more youthful. Blush wasn't up on the side, it was in the front. So that's very similar to the 1900s.
Super cheeky.
I'm using the Chic Cheek palette, and I'm using Sweet Cheeks and Rosé together. This is
Yeah.
not complicated. So if you have a Gatsby event to go to,
Ooh.
this is the thing. Well, there was a lot of dances that came out in the 20s.
The Charleston?
The
right?
Charleston.
Charleston, okay.
Started in Charleston, South Carolina. The Lucky Lindy, that was a fun dance.
Nice.
Let's put a
Very
brow
cool.
in.
Let's do it.
You have hair's dark and it was bold, but we are gonna go with a bold brow. I'm gonna use straight up black. Oh, she's cute. Giving her a little bit of a curve. We want you to be a little fashiony. We don't want this to be like so authentic that looks
That it's
bizarre.
dated.
Yeah. The thin brow really was what the cornerstone of this look was.
Would people at the time just take a razor and shave it completely
They
off?
shaved their brows
And
completely
then they
off.
would just draw them on?
I mean, that should tell you right there how women were just kind of reacting. They were in control finally of
Yeah.
themselves, and they were
Yeah,
able
for
to wear
sure.
makeup and
Drink, smoke.
dance with your friends and dance with partners. That's cute, right? Little browsy.
Oh, wow.
It really defines what's going
Yeah.
on, right? Where do you think the eye makeup came from? It wasn't just garish because they wanted it to be garish.
What else was going on?
Yeah, what do you think happened? There was a very famous thing that happened.
I think we may be on the same page. I know they found King Tut's tomb.
That's correct.
Is that what you were gonna say?
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yay!
say. So everything was Egyptian. So that's why you see a lot of the lilies and all these things are in Art
that was
Deco
the
culture
incorporation.
because it was really a stimulation of Egypt. I'm gonna use the Atelier palette. You're gonna love this. I'm gonna use a couple shades out of here. Purples, greens were really important at that time. I'm gonna use Drama. I'm gonna use Serving Looks. I'm gonna go back and forth, and I'm also gonna use the Mesmerize palette. So we're gonna kind of work out of both of these because we need some impact. Cute. Going in with the color Drama.
Drama.
And this you're just gonna put it on really like, kind of sloppy almost. You know, really kind of drag it down. And this I'm using number 63 brush. So I'm kind of taking it really tight at the lash line and then just smoking it out. Since it's so smoky in here, we might as well just add ourselves to it. Do you like wearing dramatic makeup when you go out sometimes with your friends?
I do. I do. I think it's super fun. And it's just such a nice change.
Did somebody say
Is our
smoky?
Is our time machine glitching?
I think what was really kind of like one of the key things about the 20s is that the eyes were more round. They weren't cat eyes. I'm gonna grab our fluff brush, which is number 62. We're just kind of building it out. The rounder the eye,
better.
yeah, the cuter I think it is. You didn't want a droopy eye though. The droopy eye never has worked. It happened a little bit in the 60s, the droop.
A little heavy on the bottom.
Yeah, and it looked a little bit like
Puppy.
a little puppy.
Like a little puppy dog, yeah.
Kind of pretty, it's intense. So if you tap out your brushes really good, you don't get a lot of fallout. That's the other thing, okay?
Nice.
I don't know how people do like all the eyeshadow and then they do the foundation. I'm like,
You're like, what is going on?
well, it's kind of like building a house and putting up the windows before the walls are in.
Got it.
It's a little weird to me. I'm gonna put a little more rouge on before we continue with your
Beautiful.
eyes.
Love it.
And speaking of rouge, what else did my flapper girls do during the 20s?
I heard
Yes.
that there was a rumor that they used to put red lipstick on their knees.
Correct, they used to rouge their knees.
Used to rouge their knees.
Right, why? Do you
Which
know?
is, I think it was a very salacious way of sticking it to the man.
It was more of a show-off thing.
Okay.
It was like showing off cleavage. It's more that no one saw anybody's knees. So the knees, the only place you were probably seeing that was in Moulin Rouge in Paris. You weren't seeing a lot
That
of,
was scandalous.
it was scandalous.
Wow. And rouging them?
Rouging them
What a
just to make them,
message.
yeah. It's like they're pink and excited. My knees are so excited they turned red. I'm gonna use Marc Jacobs black liner. It's a great product. Line the inside of your eyes a bit. I know this is hard for you because you're a blinker. Blinkers are good.
It's a visceral reaction.
Yeah, well, and plus you're a light-eyed person. I find
Yeah.
just from being a makeup artist that people with light eyes
Are more
flinch a lot
sensitive?
more. Yeah, because their eyes are more sensitive
be.
to the light and
Yeah.
people sticking at them. Now I'm going in with the color Serving Looks. We're gonna serve some looks here.
Serve 'em.
Look up for me. We're going over that purple just at the lash line and just a little below. So the eyes are getting an intensity now, and I'm going just along the lash line there at the top. Cute. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So the eyes are starting to come to life. Now we're gonna go nice and tight. I'm gonna use black lava underneath your eyes, real tight.
It's so simple, but so dramatic.
It is simple. People don't realize that, like, in order to do a really good smoky eye, you gotta kind of layer it in.
Yeah.
It can't just be
Like one and done.
yeah. It's actually, it takes a little bit of finesse and a little
For
bit of work.
sure.
So you see how the intensity is starting to come in there? Pretty, right?
It definitely seems this period of time, people are a little more darker paleted with like the hair, the eye makeup.
It was
the
severe.
clothing.
Black and
Severe.
white films came out.
Right.
So they were mimicking the people that they saw and who they admired. You
Yeah.
know, that was one thing. Number two, you gotta remember, like, okay, so a lot of things happened in the 20s. What was going on? They were just printing money left, right, and center, right? So there was
Right.
just unlimited amounts of credit. You could just
For sure.
buy it on credit, get it on credit. So people that were normally not making money or that were kind of like on the poor side or couldn't afford certain things, now they're getting cars, they're going on trips, they're doing things that only the elite used to do. So this was a big thing. And we all know what happens.
1929.
The crash of the stock market. Now I'm going right into the crease of the lid with the same black lava. And I'm just kind of like going into the crease, but then lifting up a bit.
Are you a fan of silver screen movies?
I don't like silent films. I do like the 30s and the 40s with films. I love old films. I watch them a lot.
Oh.
They're very inspiring. I think part of the thing that I love the most about them is that when you look at what was going on in history or in film and movies, they were dealing with really kind of like huge issues. They were dealing with divorce and rape and like all these things, but they were set on these amazing backdrops and they have beautiful gowns and great clothes. And nowadays you've got the pizza guy always wins, you know, no matter what movie, everybody wins. And it's the guy next door who wins.
Yeah.
This looks really cool. Look.
I love it.
Gorgeous. Film and TV history had a lot to do with it. Now also remember, Amelia Earhart was the first female to aviation. It was the first cross-Atlantic flight. It happened in the 20s. Which spurred the whole air travel after that.
Yeah.
It commercialized it. So it was like it was safe and it was fun and it was cool. Everybody wanted to go on an airplane, you know? You wanted to be like your favorite explorer or so people were living their best life.
I've seen a few movies with Rudolph Valentino, and I know he was kind of the iconic
Male.
20s heartthrob. Kind of like the epitome of what a man should be.
He was very masculino. I want to go back in with more dark. I just feel like it needs to be.
Yeah, let's do it.
It needs to be darker.
I mean, how many times do you get to time travel?
Open. Now she's getting strong. She's cute. She's bold.
She's brazen.
She's brazen. So we talked about the Besame mascara. So I want to just put a little
Sure.
mascara on you, but I'm not going to do this. Oh my God, this is really torturous. This would have been really like a torture situation.
Wow.
I mean, we could try it.
I'll try.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna use this brush because I don't like that brush. We have to modernize it just a little bit. Again, with the painting of the lashes. Let me see. That ain't doing anything.
We need real mascara.
Yeah, sorry. We're mascaring it up right now. I need some strength here. We work together so much.
You and I?
Yeah.
I know we do.
What's your favorite era?
I think 20s and 30s kind of combined. Probably like 25 to 35. Some of the things in the mid to late 20s and even the early 30s I really love.
It's interesting that you say that because like Betty Boop, who you think really is
Totally.
20s, was 30s.
Yeah,
She
right,
didn't come out till the
right.
30s, but I feel like she was a product of the 20s, you know what I mean? And then made her way into the 30s.
It's almost like that overlap.
Yeah, there was an overlap. I think there was a lot of people that were doing both things.
One of the things that I've always loved about the 20s and 30s is you have
The Art Nouveau period
Right.
is what you love.
and even just the architecture of the 20s and 30s, these kind of like, I think they're
Deco
classified
homes.
Art Deco homes and then medieval revival, and it's a mix of Spanish, Italian, French, and Moorish architecture, which was really unique for the time. Just kind of that old Hollywood glamour I love. What about you?
I'm definitely a 70s person. I love that whole rich and champagne and like that whole period was just like, but it was like the 20s. You remember there was like photographers like Sarah Moon. She shot everything where it looked like 20s and 30s. Fashion was coming around again. Now I'm gonna use my finger on this. This is Panther. Oh, she's smoky. I'm putting it in rough. They said Garish. I can do Mrs. Garish. All right, going back in with the black pencil again. I'm gonna go right along the lash line. Yeah, she's pretty intense. So now I'm just taking a brush and just smudging out that Marc Jacobs lash line on the top. Like that. Pretty. So tell me your name, because it's unique.
Laken. It is a Dutch name. It's traditionally more of a man's name. It's kind of the equivalent of like an Alex or a Sam.
So you're
available
gender
for
fluid.
both. Gender fluid, yeah.
That's awesome.
My parents heard it and loved it. My dad's side of the family is Italian and Dutch.
Do people ask you about your name a lot?
All the time.
And they mess it up all the time.
Yeah.
This is serving looks again, and I'm just gonna go down. She's cute. I love this on you.
What I like about it too is it's in a cooler palette, being in that like purple blue,
Yeah.
but it has so much warmth.
Yeah, exactly.
So people like me who pull more of like a pink
Yeah.
undertone, it just really warms that.
Yeah, makes it a little softer.
Are you a big jazz fan?
I like some jazz music, yeah, for sure.
Nice.
The jazz era, honestly, it was about everything that was coming out of Louisiana at the time. That Dixieland jazz bands were going all over Europe, and it was the thing. Everybody was into it.
Right.
So it was kind of cool. It was a movement. Let's talk about lipstick before we get involved in your
Okay.
lipstick. Okay.
I'm excited.
Lips were such a huge part of this, right? So lipstick was introduced in 1920. As you guys learned in the last episode, there was no lipstick. There was rouge pots, but there was no lipstick.
So it went from being a pot to an actual.
Lipstick. It's funny because Urban Decay, they probably make the closest thing to the original lipstick bullet
Really?
and lipstick case because it was a full sheath that went over and then you would crank it up. For women, this was revolutionary because you could put lipstick on now without having to dip into a pot or have a
Right,
brush or use your
touch.
finger or make a mess, you know. Interesting, Urban Decay. The most iconic lip of the time, the Cupid's bow, which we're gonna do on. I'm gonna use the Naomi pencil from Us, and I need you to relax your lip as much as you can. This was a very distinct look. It wasn't like what we have now, which was like, it's all about the full lip. Cute.
Cute.
This, again, wasn't about a full lip. It was about actually a smaller lip. So they called this Cupid's bow. And I think around the 30s is when we got the Cupid doll. There was a doll that was like called a Cupid doll, right? And I think it had little lips like this, if I read that correctly. If I'm wrong, somebody leave a comment, tell me if I'm right.
Correct our history.
Yeah, always. I research, but it's, you know, you still get things wrong sometimes. So she was cute. She was the little tiny lip. This is from the Naughty List collection. You guys don't sleep on this Naughty List, I'm telling you. It's 5 lip glosses and
They're
these.
awesome.
This one's called Vixen.
This is one of my favorites.
So I'm gonna use a brush to put it on just because it's a little bit more intense. I wonder how they stopped lipstick from getting on their teeth. Because it was really dark. I mean, it was like a dark lipstick. But red was the color, right? So red was the color. But in photos, it looked like black. Oh, she's cute. She is cute. Ready? So turn to the side. It's almost like a heart if you look at how it's shaped. It's cute. It's super pretty. I feel like we need just a little bit of platinum on here, pave powder.
Ooh,
Yeah.
my favorite. I love pave powder. It blurs everything out, any imperfection, everything. It's the best.
I like pave powder too.
I feel like it makes me look younger.
The
pave powder.
Okay, but you're already young, but okay.
I know.
Yeah, it makes me look younger. All right, guys. Welcome to the 20s. I think that this is a great look. I think this would work
This
for
look.
any flapper party or speakeasy or Charleston or
After dark.
Lucky Lindy that we might be doing. Do, 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 do. Boom, boom. Yes, look how cute she is. You ready for the Gatsby's?
I'm ready for the Gatsby's.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna let you glam to cam a little
Okay.
bit, and I'll see you over at the photo shoot.
Sounds good. I'll see you there.
Bye, you guys.